Let's dive into the products really quick first. So I see that you do have some of these products, product titles here. So you are using a product data feed and you're optimizing the titles. So this looks good. One thing I would recommend here is it's test having the brand name in the title. Potentially at the end. I'm not exactly sure how much the titles have been tested. Typically what we do is we would split test titles to see how the customers are responding to the titles. This is a big lever in order to get paying clients coming in. So they're searching for your products in a specific way. So we want to find the optimal way that they're searching for this. Big lever here would be testing different ways that the consumer is searching here. So this is quite long. So this is probably being truncated. Yeah, this is a bit long here. But one thing I would like to see here is using the brand name of your store in the titles themselves. So next thing you want to do here is check out listing groups. I noticed that you're not doing any segmenting on this. So one thing that I would highly recommend is if you're running a campaign, specifically PMAX for e-commerce, right? There's different ways that you want to structure your campaigns. So right now, even though your budget may not be large, so as you begin to scale out, you need to know how you're going to scale the campaign. So segmenting is a good way to do that. So you could segment these products into like product type, because as you begin to scale, you want to scale to where you're segmenting more granularly. That way the algorithms, as you increase the budget, don't go haywire and they have more money to put into going in a deeper way instead of like more broad. It will go more broad naturally just based on the type of campaign it is, but you want to also have that granular data available for them to scale into. So it's important that you're feeding the proper data to these types of campaigns. Okay, so I see you have one asset group here. So I would recommend breaking this out quite a bit more. With these types of campaigns, you want, like I said, you want to feed it the proper data. So you want to try to find little honey holes in a sense of where your consumers are. So just looking at, let's look at the actual ad itself. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. A lot of recommendations here. I would definitely recommend images. I would recommend your logo. I would recommend filling up headlines so that you're using search as a direction to test on. Right now, it's just a few channels here that it's testing on. Use call outs, use all these assets. Yeah. So there's a lot of improvements. Then one thing I did want to look at is your audience signals. So this is where you can really go big. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to test specific types of broad criteria. So you have your beauty. Let's say you would want to just see, how is this responding to my products? How is this one audience responding to the products? And then since you have these kind of lumped in here, you're unable to really get an easy idea of how these are responding. And then you may have specific products that you want to pause that are not profitable inside of this audience, or so there's a lot of things you can do there. And that goes back into the segmenting. If you're not segmenting your products properly, like you are, and right now all is like just all products. But if you actually segment those products, then you can pause products that are pulling the campaign down essentially. So you could pause if beauty and personal care is not profitable for one product, you can literally pause that product. I like to just do one audience per asset. That way I can play into the criteria, like my ad copy and my images and all that kind of stuff play in directly to like beauty and personal care or luxury shoppers. I can speak directly to these audiences versus it being more generalized. A little information on that. So yeah, you would want to see quite a bit more asset groups here versus just having one generalized, especially as you begin to scale. You wouldn't want to scale into just one asset group. Not to mention these types of campaigns do much better if you're giving it more data. And then on the bid strategy here, this is good. At least you do know your target ROAS here. One thing I would be interested to see is how well the campaign does whenever we're doing maximum conversion with no target CPA. the campaign could respond much better running that.